Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome into the Farzy Show here at the Steven Singer Studios. Marc Farzetta along with you. I apologize. We're a couple of minutes late getting the show started today. Another fun-filled technical difficulty, and not a technical difficulty, just like a human thing, like getting old. I haven't done a lot of physical activity lately, and for some reason, my shoulder really hurts today. So that's just the getting old thing. Like, it's really tight, so I'm playing hurt. But anyway, I promise it will be worth the wait today for a couple of reasons. One, I'm going to contradict myself like you won't believe, and I'm going to acknowledge it. But I gotta stick with what I believe some of the time, I guess. But here's what I got. Hugh Douglas will be joining the show today, as it is a happy Hugh's Day morning, as per usual, every Tuesday morning here on the Farzy Show. And this is one of the most enjoyable conversations I've ever had with Hugh Lamont Douglas III, number 53 for the Philadelphia Eagles back in the day. Hugh talks about a lot of different things. Ryan Kerrigan, another pass rusher, takes one to no one. Talks about Ryan Kerrigan joining the Eagles. We'll get into that in a second. Hugh also talks about playing for a team for a long time and then all of a sudden switching jerseys and how weird that can be. Has a great story about Jeremiah Trotter, and probably the headline of it all, people from Philadelphia going to Atlanta for week one of the upcoming NFL season for Eagles, Falcons battling it out for week one supremacy. So that'll be fun. Hugh is ready for a Philadelphia invasion, as I'm sure a lot of people in Atlanta should be getting ready for week one of the NFL season. So we'll get into that. We got some Phillies conversation to get into. As we like to do on Hugh's days, is concentrate a lot on football. So we're going to go through a lot of the comments that Nick Sirianni had just the other day at rookie camp, because a couple of things. They remain non-committal to Jalen Hurts. Now, that's the thing I'm going to be contradictory about in just a second. But they remain non-committal to Jalen Hurts. They also talk about Jalen Hurts' ability to absorb the offense with Nick Sirianni. And they also get into this idea of being a hound dog, being a pit bull is what Nick Sirianni said, being a pit bull for fundamentals with the Philadelphia Eagles. So we're going to go through those comments. We're going to talk about Ryan Kerrigan joining the team. And also the 76ers lie in waiting. And we're going to explain, for the people that don't quite understand the play-in tournament in the NBA, and it's not the playoffs, it's the postseason, but it's not the playoffs. So let's just keep that in mind tonight when we're watching these games unfold. But we'll go through that, and we'll make sure everybody understands it before the games tip off tonight. We'll get to that and more throughout the show today. But I hope you guys are having just a fine morning so far and a fine start to your day. Let's jump into this. The headline from yesterday, new Philadelphia Eagle, former still long-time Washington football team member, if you will, Ryan Kerrigan is now a Philadelphia Eagle, signing a one-year deal that can be worth up to $3.5 million. Now, if you were following the story, 2 days ago, Ryan Kerrigan posted on his Instagram, "Hey, thanks, Washington. It's been real." And then 11 hours later, posted this, saying that he was signing with the Philadelphia Eagles. And if you can't make out the transcript, if you can't make out the comment down below, by all means, leave it to your boy to highlight it for you. I know I probably wasn't your favorite player over the last decade, but Philadelphia Eagles fans, I'm fired up to be playing for you guys now. Let's bleep and go, as you know what that stands for. Fly, Eagles, fly. Ryan Kerrigan, 32 years of age, has had a dramatic decrease in snaps due partially to injury and also depth, as things have changed a lot for Washington for their pass rushers. But one thing can be said about this. The Eagles might not be committed to Jalen Hurts, but I think they like Jalen Hurts more than any quarterback they've had in the last decade, since Ryan Kerrigan has been beating the crap out of guys here in Philadelphia for the past 10 years that have played the quarterback position. And when I think of Ryan Kerrigan, there's one game that comes to mind, and it was a game that changed a lot in Philadelphia Eagles. It will change the future of the Philadelphia Eagles. It was the first game the Eagles played without Lane Johnson due to, I believe it was his second PED suspension. Excuse me, first, Lane Johnson did not play right tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles in this particular game. I think it was week 6 of the 2016 season. And Carson Wentz was off to a great start that year. His rookie season, we were all saying the things. He's playing like a 10-year veteran. This guy seems like he's been in the league for a decade. This guy looks incredible. Command of the offense. There's no way he's a rookie. Eagles made a great pick. And everybody was showering praise upon Carson Wentz, and rightfully so for the way he was playing. Exit Lane Johnson. Enter rookie Halapoulivaati Vaitai at right tackle. Vaitai, of course, went on to be the starting left tackle in the Super Bowl. Well, one that helped the Eagles win a Super Bowl, filled in for Jason Peters beautifully. But Vaitai, in his first start in the NFL, taking over for Lane Johnson, got beat like a drum. Beat like a drum by Ryan Kerrigan, as a lot of people would expect. And Ryan Kerrigan, this is what sticks out in my mind most about that particular game. I believe it was 2 snaps into the game. Carson Wentz's Wentz on the back of his jersey was already half ripped off thanks to Ryan Kerrigan bringing him down. And we all know Ryan Kerrigan has just been a wrecking ball on the Eagles' offensive line and getting after the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles and really throughout the entire NFC East and really throughout the entire NFL. So I'm happy they have added a veteran presence, a guy that has proven over the last couple of years, despite getting up there in age, that he can still get after the quarterback. 5.5 sacks last year. So he still has productive numbers. Still love to see that from him. And I know a lot of people, and I think Ian Rappaport even mentioned this because I saw one of the highlights on social media. I think Ian Rappaport even highlighted this. A lot of Philadelphia Eagles fans are making the comparison between him and Chris Long coming to Philadelphia. Chris Long, obviously a Super Bowl champion when he came to Philly and then repeated as a Super Bowl champion. But in terms of veteran presence that can still get the job done, coming in off the edge, I love this signing. I think it's a good pickup. And as I said months ago, Howie Roseman's going to have a good offseason. I feel like we are going to feel differently about Howie Roseman by the time the season kicks off for the 2021 NFL season. I feel like we're going to feel a little bit different about him. I feel like this draft overall was a good draft. A guy I respect tremendously, Daniel Jeremiah, gave the Eagles I believe it was a B+. Loved the Eagles draft. And I give him a B-. So there you go. But still, that's pretty decent when you talk about getting a guy that could be a playmaker in Devontae Smith, getting a guy in the second round that I probably wouldn't have been as bullish on because of the injury history with Landon Dickerson, but a guy that if it does work out will be a starting guard or center taking over for Jason Kelce for years to come here in Philadelphia, if in fact it does work out. And then you got some other guys that should be able to contribute to this offense this year as well as this defense. So I feel like this Kerrigan deal is a good deal for the Eagles. It's a good pickup by Howie Roseman. And if Devontae Smith really is that home run hitter in this offense, then I think a lot of people are going to be feeling very different about Howie Roseman. Now, we'll get into this with Hugh Douglas coming up in a minute here. But one of the things that's really interesting to me is what happens with the quarterback position. And as we have been saying, it looks like Jalen Hurts, the most obvious statement we can make right now is that Jalen Hurts will be the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles if nothing else happens. Joe Flacco's not beating him out for the spot. Okay, let's an obvious aside. It's been addressed. See you later. I just have this feeling that he is not going to be the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles this year. I feel like there is so much smoke around the league, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, whether it's Deshaun Watson, whether it's Russell Wilson, and the Eagles have the assets, if you will, to make a huge splash of a trade. They have the 3 first-round picks next year, most likely. And even if not, even if it's only 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick, if that Carson Wentz deal doesn't flip with Indianapolis, you still have a nice haul here to fork over for Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, or Russell Wilson, whoever it might be in the NFL. And they just continue to not say the phrase, he is our starting quarterback. They only talk about it as a competition. I get it to a degree, but as I've referenced before, this isn't Nick Foles versus Michael Vick. This isn't a new head coach taking over with a brand new offense and these 2 different players that would run it totally different, competing to see who will run it the best. Like, it's not like that at all. It's a second-round pick from last year going into a second season in the NFL and a veteran who is well past his prime in Joe Flacco. And it's a guy that could have very much disrupted this entire franchise, not by any fault of his own in Jalen Hurts, but because the franchise decided to draft a quarterback in the second round when you had just signed your franchise guy in Carson Wentz. So it's a much different scenario. The only reason they're not saying it, I think, is because they're not committed to Jalen Hurts. I think that they are exploring as many options. They're happy with going into the season with Jalen Hurts, but they're not ecstatic. They're not They're not in love with the idea. And I think they are kicking the tires on everything possible right now at the quarterback spot. And when you listen to Nick Sirianni address the media, which we'll let you hear in just a second, it's the first time, I will say this, the first time Nick Sirianni addressed the media after actually coaching. Like, he actually coached rookie camp, right? And then he actually took to the microphone doing it. So he actually got to be in his most natural habitat, if you will, as close as he possibly could be to his natural habitat, where he was actually talking about coaching, from actually coaching the Eagles and not just the inner workings behind the scenes. So I thought that was interesting. It was the most comfortable I've seen him yet. But we'll get to that. But when he's asked about Jalen Hurts and committing past this year, it's just it's something that he throws out the window almost immediately. Here is Nick Sirianni talking about Jalen Hurts and whether or not he is willing to commit to the Eagles quarterback as the starting quarterback for the upcoming season. Take a listen.
Again, we're just trying to get better every single day. And so I'm not even to that point right now of what 2022 is going to look like, to be honest with you. It's about getting better. It's such a long process. This is, and I love the process about it. It's just every single day you got a chance to get better every single day, over and over and over again. And that, yes, that applies for Jalen to get better, and that applies for everybody on our team to get better, a little bit better every single day. And that's all we're concerned about right now, is how we're going to be better tomorrow than we were today.
That's just a long way of saying, nah, I don't know. We're going to go into this year with the idea that Jalen Hurts is a starting quarterback, but it's up for grabs. We're okay with him going into it, but we're not in love with the idea of him going into it. It's not a matter of the quarterback for the foreseeable future. It's a matter of being the quarterback maybe for this year. And if that's what happens and he goes out there and plays really well, then guess what? We might even have more of a haul to go out there and get a pick that we want next year. I think the Eagles' dream scenario, in all honesty, other than Jalen Hurts looks like Patrick Mahomes and they win a Super Bowl, whatever. Other than that, I think the Eagles' dream scenario is that Jalen Hurts goes out there and plays well. Not Pro Bowl level, not great, but good enough to maybe up the ante in a possible trade down the line, where another team will know they're getting at least a serviceable young quarterback that can grow along with a couple of other picks, and maybe the Eagles could bring in another haul, whether that's Deshaun Watson, maybe that's Aaron Rodgers, whoever it might be. I think the Eagles' dream scenario right now, and most likely scenario, is that Jalen Hurts goes out there, plays well this year, and then they're able to flip him in a trade for maybe something better down the line. I think that's what the Eagles might have up their sleeve. But here's what's contradictory, and it's a half joke is what it is. But, yeah, the Eagles might not be sold on Jalen Hurts, but I know they like him more than any other quarterback ever just by bringing in Ryan Kerrigan. So Ryan Kerrigan can't ring the bell of Jalen Hurts this upcoming season. So we'll talk a lot about that with Hugh Douglas when he joins us in just a second. One last thing. It was brought up last year. And this one last thing with Nick Sirianni addressing the media over the weekend with rookie camp. Doug Peterson, and we've talked about it. Doug Peterson last year was asked about Jalen Hurts if he did have to take over the offense. And this is, of course, before he did. If he did have to take over the offense, how much of the playbook did he have how much of the playbook did he have committed to memory? How much of the scheme did he know? Would he be able to do that? And it's a reasonable question considering last year, with COVID and not being in person, everything was virtual. If you're going to grade quarterbacks on a curve at any point or rookies on a curve at any point, this would be the year to do it. Last year would have been the year to do it. So it was a reasonable question. And Doug Peterson said basically he knew enough where if he had to go in to play more than just a couple of snaps here or there, he would be able to go in there and at least be serviceable. He would be comfortable in the offense. Well, this was probably the best thing I heard from Nick Sirianni. And it was talking about how Jalen Hurts is digesting the Eagles' scheme and game plan and playbook when it comes to this new coaching staff. Here's Nick Sirianni on how smart Jalen Hurts has been.
With Jalen, it's just working to get better every day. We're learning the offense. We're in virtual meetings. We're learning the offense. Jalen's done a heck of a job learning the offense. I'll say that. Like, he's impressive in there. He's really got a good control of it. You know, when we're in these virtual meetings doing virtual walkthroughs, again, I can't say enough about the offensive staff. When I'm sitting in there and watching them go through a virtual walkthrough, I think that's pretty awesome. And Jalen's just done a good job of taking the plays that have been taught to him and he can really rattle off exactly what he's supposed to do on every single play, and it'll be exciting to get on the field with him and see him do it physically.
With the new offense and the new weapons and all that. And I'm crossing my fingers that it's something amazing, because you never want to think that the best quarterback, the franchise quarterback is somewhere else. You always want to believe that he's on your roster right now. So hopefully that's the case. But hearing Nick Sirianni talk about how well and how quickly Jalen Hurts is digesting their offense is good to hear. And I'll say this one more time, because I know we're going to have a lot of fun with this later, but that was the most comfortable I've heard Nick Sirianni. He got done coaching, went to the microphone. It wasn't like a behind-the-scenes tour of whatever, and then he started answering questions. It was he got done doing what he loves to do, which is coaching football. And I felt a little bit better about Nick Sirianni. I felt a little bit better about him really every time we've heard him talk going forward. And I know a lot of people jumped on him for the rock, paper, scissors. I enjoyed it. I think, hey, whatever you got to do this day and age. So we'll talk more football with Hugh Douglas when he joins us in just a couple of minutes on the Zatos Investments guest line. I do want to talk about the play-in games in the NBA. We showed this to you yesterday. This is courtesy of the NBA's social media account. Pacers, Hornets, Celtics, Wizards, all this going on, getting underway tonight. So if you haven't followed this yet, for the people scoring at home, if you see in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, Wizards and Celtics, when they tip off, the winner of that goes on to face the Nets, who are the second seed. Pacers, Hornets play the loser of the Washington Celtics game. Winner of that goes on to face the Sixers. All right. That's how the NBA is deciding to do it this year. It's not like you win and you survive and advance, that type of thing. The Celtics or Wizards have to win that game to win the seventh seed. So you win one game and you move on. The loser of the Sixers and Celtics have to win. Essentially, no matter what, you have to play two games. 9 and 8 got to play each other, so that's the Hornets and the Pacers, and then they got to go on to play the loser of the Celtics and Wizards game. The winner of that then goes on to face the Sixers. So I know a lot of people would try to wrap their heads around this. I actually like it, and I'm on board with what Daryl Morey had to say about the play-in tournament. And I know LeBron James was critical about it this year, but a couple of years ago suggested something similar, unless the internet is tricking me. But Daryl Morey came out and said, far be it for the NBA to find something that was more lucrative and made it more interesting. I'm on board with this. I know a lot of people just want to say, give them the 7th and 8th seed based on the regular season. But I think of all sports, the NBA has kind of told you the regular season doesn't matter. I mean, baseball, you could certainly make that argument because it's 162 games, but at least they expanded their playoff schedule. The NBA is taking the regular season and with this load management stuff, trying to police it by saying, you're going to get fined if you don't play your players like we tell you to. And meanwhile, it's like, hey, my foot hurts. I can't play tonight. Well, you have medical reason? No, it just hurts. Cool. That's where the NBA is at right now. With the regular season not being that big a deal, I don't mind them expanding the playoffs. And it's not even the playoffs as much as it is the postseason, where they will have a mini tournament before the big tournament. I don't mind that because we have seen the NBA diminish the quality of the regular season for the last, 10, 15 years, whenever it was that Greg Popovich decided, hey, you know what, Tim Duncan, not going to play today. Tony Parker, not going to play. Manu Ginobili, not going to play. Resting the stars and all that. That began with the Spurs load management, if you will. We've certainly had our share of load management here in Philadelphia when it came to Joel Embiid in the early stages of his career. I am not against it because I think the NBA really can't do anything about policing themselves when it comes to load management during the course of the regular season. Ergo, the regular season doesn't matter that much. When the Toronto Raptors won the championship with Kawhi Leonard and all that and made it past the Sixers, what did Kawhi Leonard play in? Like 60-some games of an 82-game schedule? Yeah, guess what? The regular season doesn't really matter all that much. So why not take what matters more, the playoffs, and make it a little bit better? Expand it just a little bit. Not even the playoffs, but more so the postseason. So I'll tell you this much: when it comes down to this play-in, and the Wizards, the Warriors and the Lakers play, don't don't think every NBA fan's not going to be glued to that like it's a Game 7, because it basically is. I can't wait to watch Steph Curry, LeBron James, and all that. I can't wait to see that. That is, sure, it's like baseball with the one-game playoff, right? It's made for TV drama. But guess what? I will consume that because it's exciting. It starts and finishes with excitement. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm on board with it, and I hope some other sports fans are as well. Coming up in our Morning Rush segment, we got one of my favorite broadcasters of all time decided to call it a career. We have an incredible story. Ladies, I know you like to make your men jealous. And you know what, fellas? I know sometimes you like to make your ladies jealous. This lady went the extra step. We'll talk about that in a second. But without further, before we get to our friend Hugh Douglas, I do want to tell you about my good friend Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. Here at the Steven Singer Studios, we like to make sure everybody goes to Steven Singer Jewelers because, you know what, the competition must really hate this guy. Well, I know his customers just love him because he makes the experience of buying a diamond better and better, and he makes it fun. Steven is the first to offer each and every guest the perfect price. That's right, the perfect price. You ever wonder if you're getting the best price? Are you comfortable negotiating? Who really is when you're just going to buy a diamond? You know, head to Steven Singer Jewelers. There's enough pressure when you're going to buy a piece of jewelry. Head to Steven Singer Jewelers, and you're guaranteed to get the perfect price every single time. You never pay more than the person sitting next to you. And you know what? Because here's a little insider tip. Most jewelers, they'll mark up their merchandise just to mark it down when you're sitting in front of them to make you feel like you've won something, like you're a brilliant negotiator. It's not about that. It's about buying a beautiful quality piece of jewelry, beautiful quality diamond. Steven Singer Jewelers guarantees you that perfect price and great quality every single day, 365 days a year. That's why there's no promo code. There's no special offer. There's no sale. Every day, it's the perfect price already. That's why we trust Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers. Makes the experience of buying a diamond so easy and fun. Takes all the pressure away. Check out Steven Singer Jewelers at the other corner of 8th and Walnut, right in Philadelphia, or online at IHateStevenSinger.com. Steven Singer Jewelers, one place, one price. IHateStevenSinger.com. All right, without further ado, this is one of the most enjoyable conversations I've had with Hugh Douglas. So on the Zatos Investments guest line on this Hugh's Day morning, let's welcome to the show, Hugh Douglas. And joining us as he does on every Tuesday, so often as a matter of fact, we just named the day after him. Happy Hugh's Day to Hugh Lamont Douglas III. What's going on, Hugh?
What's going on, Farzy? How's everything going up in Philadelphia, man? Is it warm yet?
It's warm. It's supposed to get 90 degrees, I believe, on Sunday. I'm going to fill up the big fancy kiddie pool for my daughter. It's going to be a good time.
The kiddie pools are epic. Do you have like the little armbands that she puts on to like help her float and the little thing around her waist?
Damn right. I'm a loving father.
Ain't that the best?
It's instant cuteness. It's instant heart melt is what it is.
It's protection because we're overprotective of our kids. So, I mean, it kind of works together hand in hand. Instant cuteness and overprotection at its finest.
Certainly. Yeah, you know what? There's a good chance you might see a lot of Philadelphia people in the not-too-distant future go down there to hot Atlanta as the Eagles and Falcons kick off the season week 1 in Atlanta. Hugh Douglas, how excited are you?
I am so excited, but at the same time, I'm in a weird spot because I've been here in Atlanta for like 7 years. And, you know, I bleed green. And every year that the Eagles and the Falcons play, when we're asked to make picks, I try to refrain. I get threatened a lot by the Falcons fans here. And I get threatened a lot by the Eagles fans saying, who are you going to pick? And I try to remain neutral at all times. But, you know, I mean, it's one of those things, man, where I just root for a good game. But I will say this, Marc, and I've said this on the air. With the current situation that the Eagles are in, I did pick the Falcons to win that first game.
Already? This far in advance?
Because Matt Ryan, I'm going straight to the quarterback position. Matt Ryan is the starter for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know who's starting for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't. And that's not a knock on Jalen Hurts. That's not. But I don't know if he's going to be the starter because the Eagles right now are non-committal. So I mean,
that's true.
If I had to make a prediction today, which I had to make one, I would have to go with the Falcons.
That's right. We don't live on the fence, my friend. We make a decision in this business.
Yes, we have to. We have to.
Okay. So you've picked the Falcons this far in advance, and a lot of things could change by then. A lot of things could change. But I have to say, Eagles fans travel very well, as you know. Are you expecting a big invasion of Philadelphia people?
Yes. I've already gotten phone calls where people are already making trips and plans to come. I was about to say come to Philadelphia, because you guess what? It's going to be like I'm in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? I can just imagine the first game of the season. We're moving past COVID to have Eagles green, a sea of Eagles green coming through the parking lot while we're doing the Wave 4 tailgate show here in Atlanta. And I'm going to hold back my joy because I have to, because I know my bread is buttered. But it's always great to see Eagles fans being rowdy and traveling and rooting for their team. So I'm going to be a little excited. But at the same time, I'm going to have to choke that down, like that thing down, because I don't want no smoke.
you know where your current bread is buttered. I understand.
Hey, man, because, people getting their FanUp, everybody drinking. I'm like, yeah, but, don't come at me sideways,
Understood. Now, are all these people staying with Uncle Hugh? What's going on there?
No, you know what? I've had a few people call, though. Because, I had a bachelor pad, Marc, and then, we had these things called babies. I had another baby. So I got a little baby. And so now, and all the kids, like, it's funny. They grow up, they leave. Now they want to come back. So now I'm like, I have to adjust my living standards, and I have to, move out of my plush man pad, my man cave, and get me a little bit more space, because now everybody wants to come visit. Everybody wants to come visit now. Go figure.
Funny how that works, man. It's funny how that works. Hey, just do me a favor. Make me one promise for the people of Philadelphia down in Atlanta here. Maybe one promise. Promise me you guys won't do that thing where you like open and close the roof to affect the pressure and make hamstring injuries more likely, whatever that is.
I can't make that promise. I know Mr. Blank. I know Arthur Blank. I don't know him that well. He's cool, but I don't know him cool enough to like, yo, Art, you gonna close that roof? He might get me up out of Atlanta. Like if anybody has pull to really get me up out of Atlanta, it's Arthur Blank. So I'm not gonna fool with Arthur.
Him and that amazing mustache that he has. Hey, and also say this. Yeah. I'll also say this. The $3 nachos that I've enjoyed at, what is it, Mercedes-Benz Stadium? It's not Mercedes-Benz Superdome. That's in New Orleans. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, right?
Yes. And the unlimited soda, Marc Farzetta. You could buy a cup. Yeah, Marc.
I was unaware of this.
You could get a cup, just a cup, and you could drink your fill of soda all day long at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Yes, Lord, there is a God.
And people say we're fat in Philadelphia.
Yeah, beer yo, but hey, man.
So that was me saying that, not you.
Yeah, I'm just saying, hey, listen. That's one of the reasons why I'm like, I ain't left yet, because I'm like, I get free soda. Free soda? Hey, all I need is a cup.
Hugh, you mentioned you have a younger son, but your oldest son, I knew him as Lil Man. He just graduated from high school.
He just graduated from Pace Academy, man. Shout out to my son, Hugh Douglas. He is going to Morehouse. He's a Morehouse man. If you know anything about Morehouse, it's expensive. So I will be twirling a sign on the weekend, like outside of somebody's deli spot, like twirling a sign, trying to, get a little cash on the side to help pay for that tuition. But yeah, I'm so proud of you, man. Graduated with honors. And I told him, I said, dude, you've already surpassed anything that I've done by graduating with honors.
Wow.
I told him, I said, when I graduated, they said yes. Graduated, yes. He did. We don't know how, but he did. So I was so proud of him, man, to do that. And now, and I told him I can't wait to see the young man you become in the next 4 years. So I'm excited about that.
The pictures you posted on Instagram, I just went, damn, how old am I now? Because I remember him once again as Lil Man.
You know what? That's the one thing about it, man. They don't stop growing.
No. Hugh, I gotta get into this now with you. The Eagles have been a little busy here. They've had practice, rookie camp, all that stuff. But right now they made a big signing just yesterday. Ryan Kerrigan, longtime member of the Washington football team and a man that just wreaked havoc all over Philadelphia Eagles quarterbacks, is now an Eagle. Your thoughts on a guy that played your position, as a matter of fact, now coming over here to Philly?
I always liked Ryan Kerrigan. I thought he played hard. You know, he probably got caught up in the numbers crunch. Chase Young is there, and he probably wasn't getting that many reps. He's gotten a little older, but I still thought he was serviceable. It has to be weird for Ryan, though, to be a Washington football team member for as long as he's been one, to come over to the dark side, if you will. I guess because in his eyes, we're the dark side, and vice versa. For him to come to the dark side and probably finish out his career with the Eagles. I like it. I like the pickup. You never know how much he has left in the tank, but I think he's a big, serviceable, durable guy. So I think he'll fit well with the culture with the Philadelphia Eagles.
And I think so, too. I think he'll fit in well, especially now that he's not wearing that Washington jersey anymore. And Eagles quarterbacks can relax a little.
Yeah, stinky Washington jersey. That's stinky.
You have told me many times how weird it was just to put on a Jacksonville jersey. Yeah. And you've told me that you probably would never have played for the Cowboys. But can you imagine for a second just any division rival putting on that jersey after you left Philadelphia?
Maybe Washington. Like, because it's DC.
Okay.
It's so, you know, they got the mambo sauce. They got the wings down there with the mambo sauce. And they got, you know, it's a nice city, beautiful city.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say because you saw Trotter in that jersey already.
No, I saw Trotter, and Trot hated it. You know, we used to, like, listen, and try to tell you this story. We played each other. I was in Jacksonville. We played each other in the preseason. Man, me and Trot ran up to each other like we were long-lost lovers that just saw each other for the first time in umpteen years. We were just so happy to see. Hey, Trot, hey, like, man, we out there hugging. It was so awkward and weird. It was so awkward and weird. But I was just, you know what, man, I was just so happy to see him. It was like, you know, that's why that's my Eagles family. Because every time we see each other, man, it's like we pick up exactly where we left off. We don't skip a beat. So yeah, him and a couple of my teammates, Trey Thomas, Ike Reese, like it's a bunch of guys, man. And when you see them, you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, you know, like you're like hugging. It's like a bromance. It's like, it's awesome. It's a beautiful thing.
Do you guys ever remark on how the other looks so weird in a different jersey?
No, you know what? We had so much conversation. We probably did. Like, what the hell you got? I was like, yeah, man, you know, I hate it here. I hate it here too. Really took the money though. Oh wow. You know, it was kind of something like that. Yeah,
I'm sure. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The season after the Super Bowl, where unfortunately, you know, Spygate happened and, you know, all that stuff. Was it Ike Reese that we've heard from multiple people that started that fight? Like, I know you weren't on the team per se.
But I was in Atlanta.
You were in Atlanta. Okay.
I was in Atlanta. I don't know, because everybody gets that story mixed up. And some people would say, well, Hugh, how'd you start it? Well, bro, I wasn't even on the field. I was not even in the vicinity of the thing. I don't know. I think they say Ike started it.
Yeah.
And Trot finished it. Like, I think that's how it started. I don't know, but I remember that because that was like, it was awesome to see, you know, them come out with that kind of fire. I don't know. That's one of those ones that's a story that'll never die. That's a story that is always evolving and changing. So I don't know.
I got a couple more for you in the football world here. Nick Sirianni talked about teaching fundamentals, said he's big on fundamentals. Fact of the matter, he said, Hugh, he was going to be a pit bull when it came to fundamentals and coaching on this team. As fans, we hear that, and a lot of people think, oh, yeah, you got to be fundamentals. Yeah, do this stuff. But how do you teach fundamentals or keep pros, whether veterans or rookies, how do you keep them on top of fundamentals, keep them sharp, keep them crisp? How what's the best way to coach that up?
I would probably say, like, in this day and age, when I think of fundamentals, Mark, that to me consists of shoulder pads, because that's fundamentally button up, getting run fits, pass rush routine and techniques of that nature. That's what that means to me. I don't know what it means to him in this new era of the NFL, because you only get so many padded practices. And when I hear fundamentals, I know when Andy Reid did it, you know, even though we had shells on, we still moved fast and we still had to get our run fits. But you know what your run fits were, because you had shoulder pads on, you know, and you kind of had that. So that's what I'm thinking. And just getting back to, like, you know, maybe run fits and techniques and route running and things of that nature, pass protection. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about stuff. When I hear that, I immediately think about fundamentals in the trenches. Getting your run fits, making sure you're sliding off of blocks, getting up to the second level as far as offensive linemen are concerned, and defensive ends running, TE and ET stunts to perfection. So that's what I think about.
You mentioned the quarterback position of the Philadelphia Eagles. You mentioned Jalen Hurts and how that's really what it comes down to between Hurts and Matt Ryan when the season starts up. Not naming a starting quarterback right now, not naming a starting quarterback at any point, even after trading Carson Wentz and getting Joe Flacco and all that. I understand competition is key, but you have to think that might be weighing on Jalen Hurts' mind a little bit. The fact is they haven't come out and said Jalen Hurts is the number one guy. They haven't even said right now he's the number one guy. So what do you make of the Eagles not naming him that starting quarterback just yet?
I mean, let's just call it what it is, Mark. They don't have any faith in him right now. They haven't seen enough to give him the starting job, which we kind of said that before you got rid of Carson Wentz. But now you're in a position where, he's thinking that he's the heir apparent. You haven't committed to him. You're kind of telling him, like, the best thing for Jalen Hurts to do right now is prepare himself to be the starter. But also, he's prepared for the win, but he's ready for the loss. And what I mean by that is you prepare like you're the starter. You do everything that you possibly can to put yourself in position to be the starter. But just be prepared for them to look at somebody else to be the starting quarterback at the beginning of the season, because that's basically what they're telling you. They haven't committed to you yet, and there's no sugarcoating that. That's the truth. Because if they committed to you, they would have said you're our guy. Just like when Mike Fleur came out and was saying, was it Mike LaFleur, the coach for the Green Bay Packers?
Oh yeah, Matt LaFleur. Yeah,
I said Mark LaFleur, whatever. But he came out and he basically begging Aaron Rodgers to come. I can't see life without Aaron. Like that. Now that lets you know right there that what's his name? Jordan Love, you ain't starting. If I can get Aaron Rodgers back, you ain't seeing the field. In the field. So that's what they're saying. When he's in that press conference begging the way that he's begging, he's telling Jordan Love, you ain't my love. You ain't my love. I ain't riding with you like that just yet. No.
Do you see Aaron Rodgers playing in Green Bay, or do you think he's done?
Aaron Rodgers has done a great job of not saying a whole lot, and that's what makes it scary because he ain't said nothing. Right now, I know the bet lines in Vegas are kind of nervous because they don't know it's hard to set a line because if he's going to be there. I'm going to say I think he'll be there.
Okay.
I think he might be late, but I think he'll be there.
No, I would agree with that. Hugh, last thing when it comes back to Jalen Hurts, he was drafted to be a backup to Carson Wentz, and now he's not being named the starter. And I think your idea is a good idea in terms of he's got to prepare like a backup would in terms of I might be the starter, so I got to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
But you have to think in the locker room, some of the stuff is getting to him a little bit just in terms of the outside reporting.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson, the Eagles are keeping tabs on that. The Eagles might be keeping tabs on Aaron Rodgers. You have to be thinking about that, right?
Yeah, that's the story. That's what I've heard through just like, people are talking. I don't have it, Eagle fans. I don't have anything concrete. I don't. So I don't know. But when people talk, when they talk about certain things, you listen. And I think it's safe to say that when you have a quarterback that you are non-committal to, and now the Deshaun Watson situation is starting to look a little bit clearer. The market is soft for trade. And then when you think about it, the Eagles are in a pretty good position to trade for a quarterback like Deshaun Watson. I mean, when you talk about all them first-round draft picks that Howie squirreled away. And the relationship with Coach Cully down there, hey, you never know.
All right.
You never know.
So again, you said you had nothing concrete, but I just want to don't allow me to put words in your mouth. So just correct me if I'm wrong.
You can't put words in my mouth.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but is it fair to say, based off conversations you've had or heard, it's fair to say that the Eagles are okay with going into the season with Jalen Hurts, but they're very much keeping tabs on what's going on around the league at the quarterback spot?
I would say that sounds about right. I mean, because you're kind of waiting to see. Like, listen, Mark. Let's. I mean, because this is obvious. Who, like, when you ask the question, you're in Philadelphia. Who's the starting quarterback? And Nick Sirianni said, I don't know. I mean, hell, you're the coach. Who am I gonna ask that knows if you don't know? like seriously.
Right. You ask Howie Roseman, he says the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you don't know, like you and Howie are talking. So that leads me to believe that you have something in the works. Because we already had the draft. You didn't draft the quarterback. I mean,
yeah, you could have. Yeah.
Listen, I didn't graduate with honors. My son did. But I can figure this mystery out. This is like a Scooby-Doo mystery. Yeah, hey, you waiting on something? What you waiting on? What you waiting on? You ain't named the quarterback. So that's easy to beat. That's easy. Who you waiting on?
I'm just picturing.
He ain't going back to Houston. He ain't going back to the Texans.
All right. I'm just picturing now. I guess it would be Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni say, all right, let's see who's under the starting quarterback mask. Peeling it off. And it's Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson. Maybe it's still Jalen Hurts. Maybe it's Joe Flacco. I don't know. But all sorts of craziness always happen at the end of Scooby-Doo.
I think it might. I think this is me, Hugh Douglas. They might be trying to get Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
I'm going to go with that.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked either. Would not be shocked.
Hugh Douglas, I appreciate that very much. I appreciate that rock solid information that I will pass off later on social media as a report from Hugh Lamont Douglas III.
Go right ahead. Everybody else is lying about some of the reports that they're making. Might as well.
So true. So true. His name is Hugh Lamont Douglas III. He is the father of a proud honor student graduate from what was it, Pace Academy?
Pace Academy here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia.
My man, Hugh Douglas. Thanks so much for joining us on this fine Tuesday morning. Thank you, sir. Holla. Joining us on the Zatos Investments guest line, Hugh Lamont Douglas III. Peace. We're gonna have fun in that conversation. There's something about the way he says Jeremiah Trotter hated wearing that Washington jersey. That just, I don't know why that brings me so much damn joy, but it really does. My thanks to Hugh Lamont Douglas III joining us there on the Zatos Investments guest line. We'll dissect a little bit more of that, what Hugh got into in a second. But right now, and we'll also, let me just say this before I even get to the social media check-in. We'll check in on our comments and our poll that's out there right now. Y'all are crazy with our comments on our YouTube page, so I appreciate everybody chiming in on the show there. Let me tell all yous fine people about a fine website you got to check out, all you Philadelphia fans, phlsportsnation.com. That's phlsportsnation.com. You can check out our friends over there at Philadelphia Sports Nation, a local Philadelphia sports site covering your favorite teams across blogs and social media. Once again, it's phlsportsnation.com. Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience. How about Hers, one of our new sponsors here on the show? Happy to have Hers on board with us and their new amazing popcorn. Fiery hot, fire-roasted sweet corn. If you've had their fire-roasted sweet corn before, you've enjoyed the buttery, savory flavor of that, just how good that is, that big old bag of popcorn, right? Sit on the sofa, watch a game, go outside, a barbecue, be at the beach, whatever it might be. Well, now they've taken that fire-roasted sweet corn, and they've gone ahead and kicked up the temperature a little bit. They add a little spice to it. And if you're like me and you like spice, this is the perfect amount of spice, the perfect amount of savory, delicious, almost succulent, buttery flavor, kicked up a notch with that fiery flavor. It's like the perfect bite of street corn, grilled corn, in every bite. You know, that perfect bite. You got everything on there, the butter and the spice, whatever it might be. Take that bite. Every bite, every handful of this popcorn is delicious. You have to give it a shot. Fiery hot, fire-roasted sweet corn, the perfect bite of spicy grilled corn in every bite. Hers all-new fiery hot, fire-roasted sweet corn is a must-have for the beach, backyard barbecue, sit on the sofa watching the games. You got the playing games going on tonight. So much going on you could enjoy with the fiery hot, fire-roasted sweet corn from Hers. So make sure you pick up a bag or two or five for yourself to enjoy. throughout the playoffs. How about the great people of FanUp? FanUp and the FanUp app. Go to the FanUp app right now on the App Store. Download it if you haven't done it already. What are you waiting for? 2,000 bonus points right out of the gate simply for downloading the FanUp app with using the promo code FANUP. May the best fan win. Any day, any week, any season, you could be the real MVP. You could win great brand prizes. You could stack up your points. You could rise on the leaderboard. You could squad up with friends. It's a great app to download. You can win merchandise, memorabilia, and like I said, great brand prizes. Enter FanUp's super fun daily and weekly contest and answer fun questions and rise on the leaderboard, and you'll have a great time. The days of playing fantasy sports alone are over. Check out the FanUp app in the App Store. Use promo code FANUP, 2,000 bonus points right out of the gate. And also our friends at Steak and Maine, fine dining in the heart of Northeast Maryland. Whether you dine in a more upscale steakhouse or casual bar and patio, you'll enjoy the highest quality prime meats, fresh seafood, world-class oyster bar, and freshly prepared sushi. All that with an extensive wine list. Nice bottle of wine with a nice succulent steak. Oh, nothing better than that. Cavada Cellars Wines also, don't miss out. From his family to your family, open every day for lunch, dinner, or Sunday brunch. Steak in Maine and Northeast Maryland voted #1 place for steaks in America by the Travel Channel and Cooking Channel. Check it out for yourself at steakandmaine.com for more information. All right, without further ado, brought to you by Steak in Maine. Here is our social media check-in. Brought to you by Steak and Maine at steakandmaine.com. Once again, y'all's people are crazy. Let's check in with Luigi. Loves himself some Hers. John says that Hers is an underappreciated brand in Philly. I gotta agree. Sometimes it is, but I'll tell you this: when you get a nice bag of Hers, man, you appreciate every bite. How about that? Dan, you're really going in on Mike Sealski again, my friend. Dan Schwartz. I will not have any more Sealski shaming on my actually, it's yours, so you guys do whatever you want on it. But I do love Mike, and I'll say that every time. A lot of people enjoying the interview with Hugh, remarking on Hugh's comments regarding Jalen Hurts, as well as Hugh's comments about possibly playing for another team and how weird that would have been. It seems like you guys really, like I did, enjoyed the comment about Jeremiah Trotter in those years he had to leave Philadelphia because Joe Banner wouldn't give a linebacker any more money. And he had to go to Washington, and we had to see that happen. And the Eagles could have really used a linebacker in those years. Go figure. What else do we have here? Some of these you just have to read for yourself because I don't want to say them out loud into a microphone because someone will just cut it as if I'm not reading somebody else's comment, but like I'm saying it off the top of my head. But a lot of people saying hi and good morning. Mally, what's happening? T-Bro, what's popping? Jason, that's because Howie has made more moves that made us scratch our heads instead of getting hyped for it. Jason, that's interesting. So it's almost like it's a bar set low by Howie. So instead of us praising the moves, we're like, wait, what? Why is he doing that? And that was certainly my approach to him trading back out of the 6th spot. And I didn't like that. I didn't like what could have happened in that. Hey, give him credit. He knew the market. He knew where the board was going to fall. And when he saw the guy that he wanted drop a little bit, he went up and got him. Got to give him credit for the draft as far as that goes. T-Bro just checking in, saying good morning. Good morning to you. Mally, I already said what's up to you. I'm catching your stuff from earlier in the show. Brett was at FedEx Field, the Ryan Kerrigan game, when Lane Johnson was his first game that he missed of a 10-game suspension. Vaitai started at right tackle, and that's where Kerrigan ripped the name off of Carson Wentz's jersey. First off, incredible game to go to. Sorry you had to go to that game. Eagles lost. But also sorry for anyone that's ever been to FedEx Field. Good God, that stadium sucks. For so many reasons. One, it smells like poop. Two, there's only one exit. If you're trying to leave a game, like right at the end of the game, I hope you have a food supply, a water supply, maybe a beacon in case you get lost. It's just an awful stadium to leave. It's the second worst stadium in the NFL to leave, only after Gillette Stadium. Gillette Stadium is out, as you know, in the middle of nowhere, and I'm going off on a personal rant because I just hate it so much. But anyway, it's in Foxborough, obviously, which is the middle of nowhere. There's like one dirt road leading in and out of the stadium. The best thing they ever did was build that Patriots place, which I only have been to because they had an Old Navy, and I'd always forget to pack something when I went up there covering games for NBC. and I would always get a nice pair of warm socks. That's about it. But Patriot Place is nice because you can hang out somewhere while the dirt road clears out, and then you can finally get home. But anyway, that's always enjoyable. So thanks to everybody that checked in our social media check-in, brought to you by Steak and Maine and steakandmaine.com. I also want to make sure that I get our Twitter poll in here because it's a fine Twitter poll, and I know all you fine people work so hard on posting this stuff for me and making sure you get your votes in. So I want to support democracy and make sure I get these votes in, and I'm not finding it. There it is. Okay. How do you feel about Ryan Kerrigan signing with the Eagles? Ryan seems to be pretty pumped about it, and I think he is as well. So how do you think about it? He's the next Chris Long. At least he won't play against us. Don't take snaps away from other players. He'll fight for snaps. 49% say he's the next Chris Long. If you get another Chris Long, I'm all about that. The second place is 31% saying he'll at least not play against us, which I'm all about. We don't have to face that. And again, it goes to my theory. A lot of people just that the Eagles just love Jalen Hurts more than anybody. I don't think they cared about Carson Wentz. They let him play against Ryan Kerrigan. They're not letting Jalen Hurts do that. Oh, no. Thanks to everybody that checked in on our social media platform and checked in on our comment section here. Now let's jump into our morning rush, brought to you by Sky Motorcars and SkyMotorcars.com. Guess who's calling it a career? Guess who's calling it a career? Marv Albert, legendary broadcaster. Yes, we all remember the sex scandal. But Marv Albert is calling it a career after 55 years in broadcasting. After the Eastern Conference Finals, Marv Albert will hang up the microphone, hang up the headphones, and he'll call it a career after that. The Marv Albert call that sticks out in my mind more than anything is probably one of the most famous ones in Philadelphia history from a non-Philadelphia broadcaster, and that is Iverson steps over Tyronn Lue. That's burned in my brain forever. At that point in my life, I had never experienced a championship in Philadelphia. Allen Iverson stepping over Tyronn Lue was like the greatest moment of my sports life. Like that, at that point, 2001, I talked about it the other night because we were talking about Kobe, or the other day because we were talking about Kobe. But that moment was like, oh my God, the Sixers could do this. Oh my God, the Sixers could do this. And that was absolutely incredible. The Phillies making it to the World Series in 93 was great, but it ended so terribly. But that moment with Allen Iverson was just incredible. And Marv Albert made the call. So that was, I'll miss Marv Albert. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up wherever. When you think of Marv Albert, what's the name that you associate with Marv Albert the most? For whatever reason, it's not Michael Jordan for me. It's not Patrick Ewing. He did a lot of Knicks games, obviously, on the national stage. The voice, the name I hear called by Marv Albert is Akeem Olajuwon. Olajuwon! Like, that is the name I hear. For whatever reason, that's the name I hear first and foremost when I hear Marv Albert. When I think of Marv Albert calling a game, it's Olajuwon for whatever reason. So what's the name you think of in the Marv Albert voice more than anything? What else do we have in our morning rush? NBA Pacers and Hornets tip off at 6:30 tonight on TNT in the first play-in game. Celtics host the Wizards 9 o'clock. Again, I explained that format earlier. Celtics Wizards win, and you're in as the number 7 seed taking on the Nets. Personally, I think the Celtics are going to lose that game at home, and the Wizards are going to win. We'll get into that in our big bet segment in just a second. Pacers hosting the Hornets at 6:30, and the Pacers actually play some pretty good basketball down the stretch. Hornets have lost 5 in a row going into this postseason play. Pacers, we'll get into that again in our big bets as well. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Here's a blast from the past for all you Nickelodeon kids such as myself. Legends of the Hidden Temple is coming back, and apparently they don't want kids. You know what they want? You and me. They want the people, the near 40-somethings, the late 30-somethings, to participate in Legends of the Hidden Temple. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and YouTube it for yourself and have yourself a good time. I'll do it. I would prefer Guts. I would prefer to be on the show Guts and the Aggro Crag. And let's go to Mo. But apparently Legends of the Hidden Temple is coming back, and they want adults, whatever the hell we are now, still almost millennials, to participate in Legends of the Hidden Temple. That'll be a good time. Here's another something for the kids out there. This was on TikTok, and I read this on the New York Post. It popped up in my Twitter feed, but I read this on the New York Post. This is what I was talking about earlier when I teased a story of a lady making a man jealous. Let's meet Sarah Villard. Am I saying her name? I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but there she is. Isn't she lovely? And look at this. Look at her beautiful wedding photos. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, congratulations to the young couple. She's just 24 years old, and she got married. She found the man of her dreams. Good for her. There she is again. Just lovely. Except it's all BS. She didn't get married. This girl staged a fake wedding at 24 years old to make her ex-boyfriend of, I believe, 2 years prior jealous. What? Staged the whole thing, put it up on TikTok. It got like 2 million views, so good for her, I guess. But here's the thing. She stages the fake wedding photos, immediately gets a call the next day from her ex-boyfriend, who she was attempting to make jealous. He does get jealous, accuses her of cheating. How could you get married so quickly after you must have been cheating? They meet, they talk it out, and do they get together and live happily ever after? No! Instead, this lady, this Sarah the Villard lady, she goes, you know what? I don't like you anyway, and kicks him out of her life, deletes the phone, deletes the number of the phone, all that stuff, all social media. So her whole goal planning the stage wedding, she rented out a hall, the whole thing, had people in like a wedding party, whole thing, and she just did it to make the guy pissed off. That's it, just to piss the guy off. It wasn't to get back together. It was just to get at him for whatever reason. Brilliant? Here's the question the Post asked. Brilliant or crazy? She did, to her own credit, laugh at herself a little bit because she did have that Gnarls Barkley song, Crazy, playing in the background of the TikTok video. So there's that. Anyway, that is our Morning Rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars and SkyMotorcars.com. Once again, just to give us the NBA playoffs one more time, Pacers or the Hornets have to win twice or play 2 games, win twice. Celtics host the Wizards. The winner of that goes on to face the second-seeded Nets. And then the loser of that plays the winner of Pacers-Hornets. Winner of that goes on to face the Sixers. NBA could not have made it any easier for all y'all fine people. Let's move on to our Big Bets. And our Big Bets segment brought to you by DraftKings and DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. What do we have for you here when it comes to this? DraftKings right now. The Celtics are -2 going up against the Wizards tonight. I like the Wizards to win and cover and screw the Celtics, blow them out of the water. Wizards would then go on to face the Nets, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant. Now, I will also mention this. Bradley Beal, hamstring injury. He said he's not 100%. Most likely still play tonight. I think if he plays, they definitely win that game, but I will be monitoring that. But I think that the Celtics win, the Wizards win that game if Bradley Beal plays. Hornets, Pacers. I like the Pacers in that game. Indiana's at -3. I think they cover that against the Hornets. That's going up at 6:30 tonight, but the Pacers are 3-point favorites in that game. Ladies and gentlemen, had a blast with you today. Hope you enjoyed the interview with Hugh Douglas. I thought he gave us a lot of great stuff today. And I'm with you. Are you with you as well? Are you with me when talking about Jalen Hurts and the Eagles just not making that big commitment, saying that one line right now that he is the starting quarterback? They're not saying that right now because they got other pokers in the fire right now. They're kicking the tires on other things. And I think that's what Hugh's thinking, and that's what I'm thinking as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the play-in games tonight. My thanks to Jim Hyden, who produced the program. This is a Buzz Sports and Entertainment production. My name is Marc Farzetta. Have a great rest of your day from the Steven Singer Studios. Take it easy, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. See you later.